Oh, next one is fucking spaceship. Welcome to Planet of the Droids. Press any key. So, right, instructions. You must enter several rooms in the base in search of your spacecraft, which has been stolen by the robot inhabitants of this planet. How terrible. Unfortunately, the robots will electrify you if they manage to capture you. The robots are planning to attack Earth, so you must escape to give a warning to Earth's defences. That's my warning. If you fail, then the Earth is doomed. Yeah. Right. Now this is the only game that I can remember on cassette 50 that uses a joystick in port 2. So this is it. You basically have to get from the bottom of the screen to the top and avoid this giant, horribly drawn sprite who goes extremely slowly if he goes over any of these marked squares, which kill you if you touch them. So at least, unlike I think just about every other game I've played on here so far, it does present something approaching a challenge. Yes, if you lose a life through touching one of those marked squares, the room ceases to empty of all the other squares. The other thing is that you start the level off the bottom of the screen, so you can't see where you are. So if you go straight up, and there's a lot of those marked squares there in front of you, you have a good chance of dying straight away. The game is shit, no question of it being anything but. However, compared to a huge number of the games on cassette 50, it does seem to at least be okay, well, it's treated as if I got through that room. But there is some sort of semblance of programming here in this game. The enemy robot does head towards you. There are sprites on screen. Alright, that's as far as it goes. But compared to just about any other game on here, it's got something right. I can't specifically point out what it is. I mean, there are effects when you lose a life, or at least when you are hit by the robot. If you hit the square, it just all vanishes. And the enemy robot that's coming after you here does move faster as you go through, so there is some sort of intelligence. But then you get bollocks like that where you lose a life straight away because you start off off screen and you can't see whereabouts you have to go. I don't think I'll make it to the exit. Oh, yes I did. Other things that are fucking annoying about the game is the fact that you get an extra life each time you get through a level. So you could, in theory, be playing this game for a fucking age. I say in theory because the chances are you're more likely to just turn it off from boredom than anything else. But at least, at least there is something resembling programming on display here. It's not exactly a shining example of programming, but there is some sort of semblance. So I mean, it's not good. Don't, you know, make the mistake of thinking I'm saying it's good. It is still shit, but it's, you know, there are a lot worse on here than this. So on the shitometer, I'll back myself into corner there. Is that game over? Yep. So on the shitometer, this gets 10. I mean, yeah, it's still a shit game, but at least there is the tiniest fucking spark of some ability here. So yeah, for once it's a game that isn't, you know, so catastrophically shit that it fucks me off that it was even, you know, it even exists. So yeah, by only getting 10 on the shitometer, you could almost say this is actually a bright, you know, bright point in the cassette 50. Almost say that. Yeah. I wouldn't if I were you, though. So that's it's Spaceship. Why is it called Spaceship? There is no semblance of a spaceship here. None at all. I've just realised that. Okay, so on the shitometer it gets 20, not 10. There is some intelligence as far as, you know, a level of programming, but there is absolutely zero intelligence when it comes to actually, you know, giving the game a title. Why is it Spaceship? There's no spaceship here. Giving it that title shows the sort of level of intelligence that you might expect from John Gage. Incidentally, some of you who've been watching all of these may have noticed that now there are an awful lot of my Cassette 50 videos that are getting one dislike. Yeah, that is John Gage, so he's still sulking about what I said about his Spy versus Spy video. He thinks I don't know, but then again, like I say, we're dealing with serious lack of intelligence here. The sheer coincidence that he just happens to be doing an Amiga version of a 50 great games on one collection or whatever. I don't know what the fucking hell it is. I haven't watched one of his videos for fucking ages. So yeah, I'm well aware that it's him, you know. Who fucking gives a toss? So, right, that is this one. What the fuck's next?